What's up, football fans? This is the Extra Point podcast with the College Football Experience. We are the College Football Experience. I am Gus, and this is Will. We are bringing you our Week 13 Rivalry Week podcast. We're just going to be going over a few games, and we're also going to be going over our recent trips to the University of Alabama and LSU. Will, I'm glad to be back, brother.
Yeah, what's up, man? It's our favorite week of college football happening this weekend. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It's our favorite weekend, but it's our least favorite weekend because we're getting to the end right here of college football season, the best sport in the world. But I'm excited and I'm ready to enjoy some games. But we're going to be at one game, so it should be really fun. I hope it is.
Dude, this season's flown by. I mean, it's
It always
absolutely
does.
flown by, and I hate it. I wish the season could be longer, but you just got to soak the games in whenever you can get them. Man, y'all need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, College Football Experience. We have been bringing y'all some fantastic content with our Alabama video, with our LSU video. Y'all need to go check those out, and then of course y'all can catch the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Will's also been killing it on a TikTok game, and we're going to keep bringing y'all more and more content as we get to it. We're actually going to start the show with breaking down our recent visits to Tuscaloosa and Baton Rouge. So let's start with our recent trip to University of Alabama. Will, take it away.
Yeah. So for me, the University of Alabama, it was a great campus. It was big. You could tell the whole city is based around the university itself. The campus is absolutely beautiful. The stadium is huge. We called it like a cathedral while we were there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ginormous. You can see it from everywhere around the campus. Loved it. We ate at what's the restaurant we went and ate at on Friday night?
We
Buffalo
had
Phil's.
and then we had Dreamland for lunch. We had Dreamland barbecue.
Dreamland was really good for lunch. The barbecue place, the sweet tea was the best sweet tea I've ever had. Again, Buffalo Phil's was a great atmosphere. It was very good sweet tea to me. Buffalo Phil's a great atmosphere. You just go in and seat yourself, just kind of like a bar foods, wings, burgers, and all that. If you want something to drink, you can get it. Saturday was a little interesting to me. It was a 3:30 kick, and I felt like the crowd didn't get going and didn't come out there till like right before the Walk of
which was
Champions.
super weird.
Which, I mean, I know we were up early. We got up early on Saturday, and we went and ate breakfast at the place across the street from the stadium. What was it called? My mind's blank.
Oh man,
the breakfast place. No, I was about to say Toomer's Corner.
No,
that's where we're going Saturday.
That
I can't remember. A little breakfast place. It was good, but just man, the crowd just didn't show up until like 2 hours before the game, which is weird to me. The bars and all that stuff was popping. But I like the University of Alabama. I like their stadium. Love the food. The game, inside the game, it was fun. The Tennessee fans are crazy.
They're mean.
They're mean. They're ruthless, which we were around the students, so that does make a difference. But
true.
Just the crowd, the Alabama crowd, just doesn't get into it until late in the game. It's like they're just kind of waiting to see how the game is going. And then when Alabama really starts winning and putting it on them, then they start jumping into it. And which we were in the upper bowl. It seemed like the lower bowl was getting after it a little more than us. So but I love the experience. It was fun. What was your thoughts of University of Alabama?
So I loved how the campus seemed super open. Like it really didn't feel like everything was jam packed in there. Everything felt like strategically placed on campus. Um, the quad was super cool. I let's see, I enjoyed Denny Chimes a lot with the campus kind of being centered around the clock tower. Um, let's see. I also enjoyed the strip being right there at the campus too, which is kind of in contrast when we went to LSU. Like everything seemed super close together. Like there was a little strip, but it was just like food. It wasn't like bars or like a bunch of restaurants or anything like that. Everything was kind of spread out in the wrong way when we went to Baton Rouge. But I enjoyed the Bryant Denny. I enjoyed the museum that we went to.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That
Yeah,
was really cool.
that was super cool for a cheap price to get to go and see all of that different Alabama stuff. And then I enjoyed the game day um, experience, being able to go to the Walk of Champions, that being a real big deal. Being able to go see the band play at the quad, and then just getting to go into such a historic stadium where a bunch of awesome teams have played, and I mean everything
Oh,
just seems
don't
super
get me
well put
don't get
together.
me wrong. The stadium is beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Man, it is incredible. I guess, man, if they've been winning for so long,
a little spoiled.
and yeah, they're just a little spoiled. I think. I just think it's a different type of crowd. They're all
Yeah,
dressed up. Everybody's kind of dressed up for the
yeah.
majority of it. They're it's a it's a different crowd than I'm used to being around at a football game.
Hmm.
But it
And
was fun. SEC Nation was there.
yeah,
That was
Bump
really
was getting to
cool.
watch you get to play rock paper scissors for the SEC championship game tickets.
I know, dude. We got to experience that. We got to go backstage, and then we got to get on the little field with Jordan Rogers and play rock paper scissors for the chance to go to the SEC championship game. And I came up short, unfortunately.
Wah, wah, wah.
I hate that really bad. It still bothers me. Uh, but yeah, it was a fun experience. I would definitely recommend somebody go to a big
Oh yeah,
game.
yeah.
Don't I wouldn't go to a small game. I can only imagine it's probably worse. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
Chattanooga game this past Saturday was probably
It's
worse when it comes
awful.
to the fans and stuff.
Oh
uh,
yeah.
but yeah, I would recommend like an Iron Bowl. Maybe when Georgia comes to town next year, I would recommend one of those games.
That'd be super cool to go to like a LSU game there.
Yeah, or
Um,
LSU.
yeah. Let's see other things. I loved getting to smoke a cigar when ever Alabama won, because we did go to the Alabama Tennessee game. Let me see. And traffic getting in and out of the town really wasn't bad either. I mean, it from us getting to our car, which was parked pretty close to the stadium, to getting out and on the interstate, maybe took us 15, 20
Yeah.
minutes.
So if I had to compare the two, I like the parking situation better at Bama than I did LSU. LSU,
Yes.
man, we were just crammed in somewhere, and
Yeah.
dude, if we wouldn't have left that stadium at the right time, we'd have been stuck for 45 minutes
Yeah.
by the
Well,
stadium.
we also had free parking there when we had to pay when we went to Bama. So just is what it is, and you get what you get. Now, moving on to LSU, and we saw your Florida Gators play them LSU Tigers, baby.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. I
Go Gators.
It's honestly the prettiest campus that I've ever seen. I really enjoyed LSU's campus. The big old think they're oak trees. I mean, those are super cool, and they're all on the campus. The architecture's super, super cool. And then, of course, you got Mike the Tiger. I think that was able to make the trip for me. Just being able to get to see Mike was awesome.
Yeah, it was a beautiful campus, very old looking.
Yeah.
Has a Spanish type influence to it. To me, you could just tell by the way the buildings were, the roof,
Mm-hmm.
the type of it's just the architect of the buildings. It's a very old campus. You mentioned the trees.
Or cool.
Um, yes, it was a very beautiful campus. It's probably going to be top 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I loved how when you got to the stadium, you had the basketball arena was right there. You had Mike the Tiger right there. The front of the stadium is awesome, where it has the
Yeah.
Tiger Stadium,
Uh-huh.
and then you got the Tiger statue in front of it. It's a beautiful picture. You get to see all their Heisman Trophy winners, their national championship teams, their All Americans. You get to see all that stuff. It was a beautiful um, how they are designing it on the outside of it. And then the only thing I will say about it is the walk. You have to walk all the way across like this part of campus, walk across a quad, walk across a street, cross another street to get to like the main strip that everybody goes to
Mm-hmm.
on game day. But it is what it is. It's part of it. You're gonna have to walk everywhere you go, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I do like all the stuff they have around campus. I
Mm-hmm.
love Chimes. We went and ate at Chimes on
It
Friday
was
night.
good.
It was really good. Got some decent Cajun food, great atmosphere, TVs everywhere. You could watch games, do whatever. Um, then right down the street, they have Canes, the
The
original Canes.
original.
Yeah, Gus was reading us a story from Google where his professor at LSU laughed at him, told him it
Yeah.
was a dumb idea. People in Louisiana don't like fried chicken and fries would never sell. And it's booming right now. I mean,
Mm.
Canes is they're popping up everywhere. Um, so that little part was really cool though. And the only thing I will say this about LSU, what was so fun and cool to me was we got there around what time did we get to campus Saturday? Like 9:30 or 10:30?
Yeah.
10:30. We got
Yeah.
there around 10:30 and people were tailgating. There were people everywhere.
Yeah.
The free parking was almost full. I mean, you saw tents everywhere.
And
And
and and this is for a 7 o'clock. This is for a 7:30 game.
yeah, 7:30 kickoff. And
These
people are
folks
out
are
there.
already tailgating and
Yeah.
already drinking.
And something that you always hear about LSU fans is they're kind of rude.
Yeah.
But that was the complete opposite. They were
Yes.
super nice,
So nice.
so welcoming. We got to have a ton of conversations with them because we went back to Chimes Saturday, hung out, and man, we had some great conversations with them. Man, they were
Yeah.
super nice. The students, on the other hand, are
We're
the
mean.
complete opposite. Yeah,
Which
yeah,
which which we've kind of come to figure out that's going to be anywhere.
yeah,
Because they are gonna be the drunkest. They are gonna be the ones without a care in the world. They're gonna be the most vile. They're gonna be the most crude. But whenever we would be walking and we'd pass by a tailgate, like people would be like, "Oh, we're super glad that you came," because we all had a bunch of Florida stuff on. They'd be like, "Glad you came. Glad you were able to make the trip. I hope you have a great time." We had people offering us beers, offering to buy us beers at a bar. So I would say, all in all, they get a bad rap, and they're a lot nicer
yeah. I,
than.
I think people have had just a bad experience, and so the rumors just spread and spread, and I
Mhm.
think every fan base has those bad apples.
Oh yeah,
I just think maybe they've experienced the students or
yeah,
something like that, and they didn't experience the adults. Because I mean, we were standing there. I think it was me and you, and an older gentleman came up to us, said, "Hey, are they being nice to you?"
yeah.
And we were like, "Yes, sir, they are." And
And he was like, "Good." Yeah,
I thought that was nice of him.
man.
But Death Valley
Is
is
woo. That's what I was
is
about
inc-
to. That's what I was going
it's
to
inc-
ask you about.
yeah, it's incredible. I
It
think
for
it had
sure lives
something.
up to the hype.
Yes, it does. I think it had something just to do with the records of the teams and the time of the year we went. I
Yeah.
do think if you went to an LSU game early in the year, I do think it'd be deafening the whole game.
Yeah.
Um, both teams just three. I mean, LSU had 3 losses at that point already. Florida's 4 losses, about to be 5 playing them. Um, but on third down, when it was a big third down and the crowd knew it, dude, it was
You couldn't
so
hear yourself.
loud.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you couldn't. It was
Or
so loud.
or when like LSU would score and they chant Tigers, oh, it's like everyone in the crowd would do it. Or like whenever they did like any type of chant. God, it
Yeah.
was so loud. I mean, the only place I could compare it to with being that loud was when we went to Florida versus Utah to open the 2022 season, or like a big Iron Bowl where like it's just like, oh, like I didn't know that this many people could make this much noise.
Yeah, I loved when they would do their chants, that's when they were the
Yeah.
loudest. When
Yeah.
they would do the
T
T,
I
yeah, they'd spell out the Tigers, or they'll do the LSU.
LSU.
Oh, I mean, dude, they were so
Killing
loud,
it.
man. It was a good game too. It was fun.
Oh
We didn't
yeah, it was
realize
a great
Jaden
game.
Daniels was we didn't realize Jaden Daniels was having a career night until somebody texted us in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Um, I just didn't realize he had that many yards. And then when
Yeah.
I
It
think
was.
about it, I was like, yeah, he had about 4 or 5 explosive plays that were like
No.
60 plus.
Yeah, I mean,
Me,
think it was like 370 through the air, like 230 plus on the ground. So
yeah,
he freaking killed it.
he had an incredible night. It was fun. I think LSU. I'm gonna give them the nod over Bama. Both of them are great. Both
Yeah.
of them do spectacular things in their own way. I think convenience goes to Bama.
Yes.
Campus, food, atmosphere goes to LSU. That's kind of how I would maybe place them.
So if you
Um,
had to scale it on a scale from 0 to 10, what would you give Bama? What would you give LSU?
I'm gonna give Bama an 8, and then I'm gonna
Mhm.
give LSU a 9.
Okay. So for Bama, I was thinking an 8.5, and then for LSU, I was thinking a 9.2. And
I mean,
and
it's
this was
not
something.
bad ratings.
No, and this was something that I said whenever we were first getting on the campus. I was like, if I came here as a kid and I didn't have like any like allegiances to like a team or a school, I would have fallen in love with it and I would have been an LSU fan just because it's
Yeah.
so cool. Like it's
Well,
so cool.
you got to experience the Tiger Walk and stuff, and
Yeah.
all the teams running through. They were celebrating the baseball national championship that
Yeah.
night,
So
and
it's actually called the Victory Hill Parade.
the Victory Hill Parade.
Mhm. And, like, they had the band come through, the band played, they brought, like, a couple trucks through, they were throwing beads out, and then they had the baseball team, they had the gymnastics team, they had the 2003 championship team, and then, of course, they had the football team, and it was super cool. I would say it was more intimate than the Walk of Champions was. Because like it's on like a slope surface. It like you can see the team coming from a long ways away. And like whenever we were at the Walk of Champions, like the Alabama team was just there, and then that they were gone.
Yeah,
And and then usually what happens is like the football team will usually come first, and then the band will come after them. And then all the fans that are there at the Victory Hill Parade will follow the band into the stadium. But since they were having to celebrate like the baseball team and stuff, they did it in like in a little different order. So,
yeah,
but it, I would say it was better than the Walk of Champions. I don't think it'll be better than the Tiger Walk this week at Auburn, just because it's going to be the Iron Bowl and the Tiger Walk's a real big thing at Auburn. So man, I'm super glad we were able to get to experience those campuses, and we will give y'all a breakdown of the Auburn campus next week when we get back. Man, let's see if we can talk about the Pickems real quick. We haven't updated y'all in a few weeks. Nick is number 1 overall with a 502 points. He is leading with an 86-34 record, absolutely killing it. Then we have a jumble in second, third, and fourth. Drake Childress, 487 points in second place with an 82-38 record. Logan Hood, our 2022 champion, who has been on this podcast before, 486 points, so 1 point behind Drake in third with a record of 82-38. And then that boy Will Bates is in fourth with 483 points with a record of 81-39. I have been struggling this year. I ain't even going to go over what I am, but Will, do you think you can at least get up to second? I mean, you are only a couple points behind. And do you think you have a shot at trying to get this first place? You have week 13 and you have championship Saturday to do it. So you just got 2 weeks to make up 15 points. No, to make up close to 19 points.
Yeah.
That's a tall task.
I don't feel good about finishing first, but I think I can finish at least second.
Yeah.
Uh,
At least
it
make your money
really,
back.
yeah. I mean, I just don't know about Drake and Logan, how they're gonna, what they're gonna pick, how they're gonna pick. But I feel good about it. I think there's gonna be a few games we're gonna go opposite in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if them two can resist themselves from picking Auburn or not. That'd be nice if they did pick Auburn. No offense. But
The only one who
I
I
think
think will pick Auburn will be Drake. I think he'll pick Auburn at 1. I think Logan
that'd
will
be
pick
great.
Auburn.
That'd be great
I
if he
think he
picked.
will pick Bama.
Maybe Nick would pick Auburn too. I don't know. That would be nice. They've all been talking like Auburn's going to win that game for a while, so maybe they'll back up their talk
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
I feel like Alabama's going to win that game. Got a few other games I'm picking kind of high, where I think I can maybe flip it if I do win those games. I can kind of jump closer to Nick, I think, because I think
Mhm.
I know where they're going to go with these two games, and I'm going to go I'm risking it to try to finish either first or second. So we'll
Risk it
see.
for the biscuit, baby.
I haven't been in this position in
A year or
3
2.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while, 3 years maybe. So we'll see.
Yeah. Man, this is a game I think you're going to have to risk it on. Ohio State versus Michigan. The game. I think this is one of the biggest games in the history of this game. I mean, just because there's so much storyline that is surrounding it. I mean, you have Ryan Day. Is he going to lose 3 straight? But is Michigan going to win 3 straight? Can they win without stealing signs and Jim Harbaugh? And I mean, and I mean, this is a playoff game. This is a playoff game. This is why we don't need the expanded playoff, because this is a freaking playoff game. This is a playoff game. Like,
Yeah,
but
this will
but
be a
but
seeding game
especially with
next
the
year.
way, yeah, which sucks. Absolutely sucks. I freaking hate it, and I wish I could cuss right now. That's how much I hate this crap. But man, this is, especially with the way that this season is kind of playing out, this is a playoff game. So who's gonna get eliminated for all intents and purposes? I I think it's Michigan's gonna lose.
It's Michigan's kind of struggled the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Just it's because of all the distractions they got going on. It has to be.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know
It
what
could be
else
a
it
little
could
bit
be,
of
man.
both.
It could be they're just maybe they're starting to play stiffer competition,
Yeah.
and then they got distractions going on. They got a bunch of stuff. Their head coach isn't going to be there.
Mhm.
Possibly going to be snowing a bunch at the game.
That's beautiful.
Um, I love that, dude. And here's the thing, Ohio State's been battle tested this year, especially early in the
Oh,
year with Notre Dame and then the Penn State game. Um, Here's the deal. We literally had a discussion this morning in our group message about it. Ryan Day with the defense. Have they done enough in the
I think they have.
offseason all the way up to this point to say, Michigan, you're not going to push me around no more. You're not just going to bully me anymore. And we're going to stop the run.
Mhm.
And you're going to have to get out of your game plan to beat us.
Yeah. I mean, I think this game comes down to kind of like you said, which defense is able to stop the run. And I really think it's going to come down to which team can hit the explosive play through
I
the
mean,
air. Which
Ohio
team can
State,
do it through the air?
in my opinion, Ohio State has the best player on the field, and he's a wideout.
Yeah.
So like, can he, Marvin Harrison Jr., can he get open and make plays? And can Ohio State's quarterback get him the ball
That's a
to
big
where
thing.
he can
Can
make plays?
Kyle McCord hit him?
Yeah. And JJ McCarthy's plan is just hand the ball off, play action pass, find my open guy. Like that's been their MO the whole year.
Yeah.
Is just he hasn't had to make big explosive plays to win ball games.
Yeah.
I mean, the second half of the Penn State game, the second half of the Penn State game, they didn't even throw the ball.
Yeah. So,
So
I think from 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter, they didn't throw the ball. And so is that just a combination of, oh, well, they didn't need to throw the ball,
they didn't
or
need to.
they didn't necessarily want
I mean,
JJ McCarthy to
the
throw the
best
ball?
quote I heard about that game was Kurt Herbstreit said Penn State couldn't even throw a forward pass. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
so I get why they didn't throw the ball, but you got to put Michigan's offense in uncomfortable situations, get them out of
Mm,
their game plan, and it'll be interesting to see for sure what happens in this game. I love it that it's kind of a noon game. I just love that tradition about it.
mhm.
It's the first game everybody gets to watch. The whole country's
Let's
watching it.
go ahead and get it out of the way for the day. You have the Iron
Yeah.
Bowl at 3:30. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the Iron Bowl right after it, and then you got the nightcap games. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see for sure. Can Michigan keep holding on to this this undefeated record, this streak with Ohio State? I think it's unfair that people think Ryan Day should be under the hot seat.
It's insane. It's
I just
insane.
don't like that. I mean, he has the second best recruiting class. He's in playoff contention every year. He just
Mhm.
has another person in his division doing this
Who is
same
good.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I mean
it,
I mean, the only way that I could describe it is, but imagine if Alabama and Georgia were in the same division, and
yeah,
Saban kept beating Kirby, but that was Kirby's only loss, and then
yeah,
Kirby's made the playoffs multiple times, but he just didn't win a championship, and then you have Georgia fans saying, "I think Kirby needs to be fired because he can't beat Saban." You're an idiot.
yeah. I
Like,
don't think
you
it's
would
very
be an
warranted.
idiot. That's the same thing that's going on now.
I, and I don't even know if Ohio State's a top 4 team, but if
I
they
think
can win
they
this weekend,
are.
it'll definitely prove to me that they are.
Yeah.
But they have played a tougher schedule though than Michigan
Oh, yeah.
has. I will say
So
that.
I think right now, from a resume standpoint and from a roster standpoint, they are a top 4 team. I mean, because I don't
Yeah,
think there's
definitely
anyone else.
roster standpoint. They've had top
Yeah.
5 recruit classes back to back
Yeah.
to back.
The only thing that's hurting them is their quarterback play. Like, they need Kyle McCord to have the game of his life. They really need that offensive line. I mean, because that's really been their struggle for the whole season is they haven't had the best offensive line. This is one of the worst offensive lines at Ohio State that I've seen in a while. So that will be interesting to see how they go up against that Michigan front seven that, for all intents and purposes, is probably the best in the country.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the key to the game. their Ohio
Mhm.
State's offensive line versus Michigan's defensive line, which that's kind of been past 2 years. It's kind of been
Yeah,
how they've beaten Ohio State. I mean, they just
yeah.
kind of dominate them up
Physically
front.
dominated them on the line of scrimmage, yeah.
But I think it'll be different this year. I do. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be low scoring,
very much so.
especially with the snow and stuff affecting it if it snows still. Um, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't know who I'm going to give the edge to yet, but if I had to give one right now, it would be Ohio State.
I'm definitely picking Ohio State just because I think they're gonna have the wide receivers to be able to make the plays.
It would be
And
awesome to see Ryan Day say, "Man, I don't give a crap about this snow. We're going to run our game plan and we're going to sling this thing around."
dude, so I heard a couple people that were talking this afternoon. Do you know what Ryan Day's speech will be like at the end of the game if they go up to Ann Arbor and if they win? Whenever he gets interviewed at the end of the game, that would be electric. I mean, that would be.
He might
I
throw a
I hope it happens.
he might throw a shot at them, dude. He's
Oh,
probably
he
going
uh,
to
he 100% would. He a hundred
it's going
percent would. Like
I hope he
it would be
mentions
like
in
what he
something
said.
about I hope he mentions in something about like that Michigan coach crying at the end of the Penn State game. Like, I hope he says something like, "I'm not going to sit here and cry in front of you," but
Sheesh.
that would be
Or
hilarious too.
like, do you know after the Notre Dame game when he went off on Holtz?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I think it'll be that times like 50, just because it's versus Michigan,
yeah. We don't have to cheat to win,
and
boys.
plus like, oh yeah, dude, or because we all know they're the one that hired the investigators to do all that crap against Michigan with the sign stealing. Everyone knows it.
Yeah,
So I'll really be looking for them to win, and I'll be looking for him to give
I
that
know.
speech because that would
We'll
be
be
epic.
in the we'll be in the stadium
Mhm.
by then, the Auburn Jordan Hare
Being
by then, so we'll be able to see at least half the fourth quarter
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
So I hope they're playing that game.
They usually do. They usually do. All right. Well, heading down to the swamp. Florida State, man. This game kind of got a damper
Yeah,
put on it from like a hype standpoint, but it's still a crazy game because it's a battle of the backup quarterbacks. Florida looking to get bowl eligible, and it's a night game in the swamp. And
sold out night game.
sold out. And I think the fans will kind of reflect the attitude that this Florida team has. And I think they're going to show up and fight. I think that crowd's going to show up. I think they are going to be in it because they've been able to get that vibe from the team. Yeah, we might not be having the best season when it comes to our record, but boy, is Florida playing their guts out for Billy.
I hope so, man. I hope the team shows up. I hope we can get a little healthy up front for this game. We lost two offensive linemen while in Missouri.
Y'all also
Um,
lost y'all's quarterback.
yeah, we lost our quarterback, so essentially we'll have three new starters on the OL out there. Of course, Max Brown making his first start against FSU. But when you look at the statistics, man, they're not really that great on defense.
Yeah.
And dude, ever since we started this in March, I've been saying this is our game. I think this is their trap game that we can win this
Mhm.
game because of where it's at and what time the game is going to be played. I think we love playing at night. We played at
Yeah.
night pretty much all year, but like
The
twice.
swamp's rowdy at night too, dude.
Dude, it's a different
Oh,
atmosphere, man. Their quarterback, I think he's talented. I think he's good. But he hasn't their team hasn't been in an atmosphere like this. I mean, I think Clemson is okay, but it's not going to be this
compared to the swamp at
consistent.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to be this. So his first start will be um in probably one of the craziest atmospheres he will experience in his college career. But they got the weapons. I think Wilson's kind of getting healthier. He's still banged up, but dude, they still got probably the best player out there in Keon Coleman.
He's a
Everybody
dog,
knows, dude, he's awesome, incredible NFL wide receiver. I'll be shocked if he doesn't go like late first round, early second round.
He's for sure. He's a first round talent. I would say even with all of the talent that is coming out this year, he's gonna be a first rounder. I mean, just his size and his speed and his catch radius, and then what he can do once he catches the ball is insane.
They haven't played that great on the road this year.
No,
they've kind of struggled on the road a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see. I think one thing that helps us out, what hurt us last year against them, is Jordan Travis, dude. His ability to escape pressure, make some type of play with his legs, and then flick it out there to somebody. That's going to be something they're going to miss, and something that benefits us. Man, when he got hurt in the game, I was kind of like I kind of wanted him to play.
Yeah.
In this game, but then there was a part of me I was like, it is what it is, He got shot now.
Yeah.
And then our quarterback gets hurt. So it'll be interesting to see, man. I think our offense changes a little bit. With Max Brown, you could kind of tell the plays.
A little more like
it comes more like what we ran with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more like that. So the run plays will be, at least. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be rowdy. I think we'll get home by halftime, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
That way I can catch the second half of the game, at least have it playing on the way home. So,
yeah.
We'll see what happens, man.
Sure.
I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to come down to the end. Man, can our secondary make a play? That's what it's going to be. Can we guard just control Keon? I mean, he's going to make plays. Just don't let him get explosive plays. Like, he don't need to catch one down the sideline, break 2 tackles, and go for a 70-yard touchdown. He don't need to do that. He can catch a 30-yard every once in a while, but he don't need to have no 70-yard bombs. So it's going to be a fun one. We'll see what happens, man. I would love to see us go to a bowl game, though.
Yeah. Do you remember what that Florida fan behind us at the LSU game kept saying?
Give 7 the ball.
Give 7 the ball. I think Trevor Etienne is y'all's best player.
It needs to go through. I texted Cody this Saturday. It needs to be 7, 1, and 3.
Yep.
That's your 3 dudes.
That needs to be the Florida offense.
Yep.
Like, that literally needs to be the Florida
7
offense.
only comes out when he's dog tired, and then you can put 2 in. But 7 don't need to come out unless
he's so good, and like he's so explosive, and he runs like his tail is on fire, and it's just going and going, and he's so quick, and he's so shifty, and he's able to make a cut and go. And I mean, every time that he gets the ball, like, I mean, like, he could score.
Yeah.
Like
what's going to help
the type
him,
of player that he is at it. Like,
what's going to help them and the running backs, dude, is like Max Brown. Now we have a quarterback that can run. Like, they're going to have to respect Max Brown's ability. So on those zone reads, it'll be interesting how they defend it, because they're kind of going to be preparing for a different offense right here.
Florida State also loves to rush the passer. So if they maybe could get him with a screenplay, or if they maybe could do like a delayed handoff where they're able to wait, they're able to act like he's going to pick up a blitzer, or he's able like to hand the ball off late, he's able to hit a hole, go.
Do you think the offenses will be conservative for a little while, just to let the quarterbacks kind of feel their way into the game? Like, do you think it'll be low scoring for a little bit, or do you think?
I think
Billy and Mike. Do you think Billy and Mike will say, "You know what, guys, we're trying to win this game, and we're going for it all"? Which Which one do you see it kind of being like?
I think I think the likelihood is it'll be a little slower pace to start, but I think the best form of confidence is when you know someone has like a just a ton of belief in you. So I think if you are these offensive minded coaches saying like, hey, you aren't the backup anymore. You are the starting quarterback. So we are going to have complete faith in you to come out here and to run the offense and to run it in a way that suits you. So I would like to see them come out with the offense is humming, with the offense is open, trying to make a shot play, but I think it'll probably be just a little conservative. Well, I could see Florida State being just a little bit more conservative just because it will be the hostile environment and them to try to like get a slow, methodical offense going to try to get the crowd out of the game. But I could see Billy coming out swinging because what does he have to lose? I mean, what does Florida have to lose? I mean, they aren't expected to make a bowl game now. They're expected to lose
Man,
this game.
not a lot of people probably would notice this, but I noticed it, man. He coached Max Brown so differently
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night, man. Like usually Billy, so when he calls the plays, he's usually like walking up and down the sideline as he's calling them, and he's kind of like looking back at it and he's
Mm-hmm.
watching from an angle where like when Max was out there, dude, he was on his hands and knees on the sideline, like looking at him and like communicating with him on the sideline, like
Mm-hmm.
telling him what to do pretty much. So
Do you think
it
that's
worries.
because he has a lot of trust um in
Oh, he has a lot of trust in Graham
trust in
Mertz.
Graham Mertz? Yeah. So
I
like
mean,
he like
Graham
feels
Mertz
like he can
has,
be a little bit more hands off.
yeah, and it worried me a little bit that Max just didn't have a good clock awareness a little bit of the game, and Billy was
Yeah,
like,
which
"All right, you're
happens.
gonna look at me when I'm gonna tell you when to snap it." Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't know, man. Max Brown had 41 touchdowns his senior year of high school. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
So
So I think he's a baller. We'll see.
yep.
I think he's gonna make some plays. He just can't turn the ball over for me. I think I'll be
Yeah.
happy if he just doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. I think it's going to be our DBs versus their skill players. That's the position groups I'm going to be looking at.
Yep.
And we'll see, man. I think it's going to be fun. I hope it's fun.
Yeah. Well, we can see if Florida can ruin Florida State season and get a dub and keep them out of the playoffs. Now, the game we're going to be at, man, did Auburn ruin this for us or what? Auburn versus
Yeah.
Alabama, going to the Iron Bowl, still believing, baby, still believing that we can do it, even though it's an extremely unlikely set of circumstances. But I'm still believing.
Well, you can tell when Auburn wants to play in a ball game, they play hard.
Yeah.
So they just did not like they wanted to be there this past Saturday.
No.
They looked no energy, lackluster. The wide receivers looked like they weren't running hard. It just didn't look good. And
Mm,
this week's gonna be different.
I
They're
hope.
gonna be bringing it. They're gonna be bringing it. The crowd. We're gonna bring it.
Oh, yeah.
So it should be a fun one. Can they ruin Alabama's playoff hopes as well?
I hope. I would have no more joy. Like nothing would bring me more joy right now than Auburn being able to ruin Alabama's season. I mean, because we almost did it in 2021. That would have been crazy. If if that 2021 team can almost beat that 2021 Alabama team, this team can almost beat this Alabama team.
You
And
know,
we almost beat Georgia to start the season.
yeah. I think for me, what I'm going to be looking at is Auburn's skill players. Can they make the plays in the game? I think Peyton can get them the ball, man. It's just going to be can they
Yes.
catch it and can they make some plays after the catch?
Yeah.
And then I'll be looking at Auburn's defensive line. How are they going to
And
handle
we
Milrow?
contain Jalen Miller.
Yes, dude. Just make him stay in the pocket. Make him beat you with his arm.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten better over the weeks with throwing and stuff, but he's not like an elite passer. So I think he can give you a few if you just don't let him get out the pocket
Yeah.
and you can kind of contain him. Because man, like Kentucky and a few other teams have just LSU have let him just run
Run
all
all
over 'em.
over.
Man, he had an incredible game against LSU and Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then the Chattanooga game, I don't even count it, but he's played really well the last 3 weeks. So it'll be fun to see for sure. And I really hope the Auburn crowd is there. Rowdy, give me the full
I,
Iron Bowl
I think it's
experience.
gonna be. I truly think that the Auburn crowd will just because I think we understand like our goals this year was to be able to make a bowl game, which we have done, and then to be able to get the recruiting trail hot, which we have also done. So I think we will be able to say, like, hey, we're going to come into this game and we're gonna be loud, be rowdy, because we can ruin Alabama season. We can keep them out of the playoffs. Like we can ruin their season.
And,
So
Auburn's known for no matter what's going on, we're going to be there. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think we'll be okay. I
yeah.
think it'll be fun. It's going to be rowdy. I hope it is at least. That way we can get the full experience.
Experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, um, I think we'll for sure get it at the start of the game, but just depending on how the game goes, will depend if it lasts or what. But I think, kind of like you were saying, that the Auburn wide receivers and the Auburn defensive line is going to be the key to the game. Our offensive line last week looked like we were scared to come off the ball. Like we looked like we were walking on glass coming off the ball. So I hope we're able to run the ball better this week. I hope that Coach Freeze lit into the offensive line and ruined their week just so they can come out here and play their absolute best game. Because I think against Georgia, we had like I think we had almost 250 yards rushing. We have to have that again. Like we have to control the pace of the game and be able to also we have to convert in the red zone. Well, we
Yeah.
have to get to the red zone. We didn't even get to the red zone last week versus New Mexico State. We didn't even get in there. We didn't get to the red zone, Will. Yes, against New Mexico State.
I've been there, dude. I've been there, dude. It's so frustrating, man.
Dude, it's
I like,
some
dude, I went into bed last weekend, dude. I was like sick, dude. My heart was
broken.
broken in half. I can only imagine
Well, we lost to New
losing
Mexico
a
State.
game like that, man. But Auburn has got to come out, hit some explosive plays,
Mhm.
maybe make them punt, and you got to keep your crowd in it,
Crowd in
man.
it.
And you were right, man. Auburn's got to get to the red zone and convert and to get
For
6 and not
touchdowns.
3s.
Yes.
Yes, we got to get 6. We can't get 3s. But it'll be interesting to see for sure. Alabama, for them to win, they just got to do what they keep doing. Milrose got to make plays. He's got to make plays with his legs, and then off of those plays, guys will get open because then the secondary will come up and then he'll be able to throw it over the top. So,
Yep.
Alabama's just got to keep doing what they're doing to win the game.
Mhm.
They got to play their ball game. They can't let the crowd affect them. But I'll tell you this, Miss Terry is worried about the game. She
Really?
told Nick, she told Nick Saban 2 weeks ago she was worried about playing in Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
And
And
he was
and I
like,
mean
we got to go to Kentucky first. I mean, why?
well,
So,
we are in like ultimate wounded animal mode. Like we like kind of like I was saying, Florida didn't have anything to lose. Auburn literally,
yeah.
we have nothing
Well,
to lose,
dude,
and like we are
you guys,
completely backed into a corner and just gonna come out and swing, baby.
you guys had an incredible onside kick formation against New Mexico State. I don't know why y'all showed that against them. I would have waited and did that against Alabama, like second kickoff. Got the ball back.
Dude,
Like
do
in
you want to know
09.
why? Do you want to know why we did it? Because we were desperate. Because we were losing
Well,
to New Mexico freaking State.
but you kick just a normal onside kick and you go freaking kill one of their kids and then you recover it.
Lord.
Not kill them, just hit them really hard. Sorry.
Lord,
But
you
like,
dropped a K word.
dude, you remember like in 09, y'all scored real quick and then you
Mhm.
kicked the onside kick to yourself with the kicker, recovered it, and you go score again. You're up 14-0.
Beautiful.
And the same type of situation this was. Is like
Mhm.
Auburn's record wasn't very good. You know, Alabama was trying to go to the national championship. They were undefeated. It's the same thing. So let's see what they
And
can do. I think we can see some Iron Bowl Jordan Hare magic.
and who has Alabama played on the road this year? That's like crazy. Like all of their big games have all been at home. So this is the craziest environment they will have been in all year. This is the
I can't
craziest
even
environment.
think of one because Kentucky, their fans were, it
Kentucky,
was 50-50
they went
there.
on the
So it
road to
wasn't.
Mississippi State. They went on the road to USF. Who was the other
Well,
East team that they
the
played?
weather was
Oh yeah,
the weather was
Ken,
what
Kentucky.
the weather kept them so out of that UCF
Yeah.
game,
So I mean,
USF game.
this is the craziest crowd that Jalen Milroe will have ever played in front of.
It's very similar with the Florida State game. Very similar
Yes.
with the rowdiness, and then it's very similar. So I could see how, dude, we could get if we're screaming loud enough, man. We could get them, man. So
I can't
I'm
wait.
excited. I'm excited to see the eagle fly. I'm excited to be at all the tailgates. The Tiger Walk. We missed it the last time we went.
Mhm. For
So
sure
I'm
gonna have to
excited.
get it now.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
for sure gonna
excited to
have to get it.
go down there, dude. Auburn's right down the road from us, so
Close,
we'll get
easy
up early.
drive.
We got our buddy Logan Hood coming with us, so
Oh yeah.
uh, it'll be fun, man. We're gonna have to go back though in 2025 because I
That's when
think
it's gonna be legit.
Auburn will be really good then.
Mhm.
They're gonna have some dudes, so I want to go back in 2025 and check it out.
That's when it is gonna be legit, man. Well, I love doing the podcast. I freaking love it. I absolutely love getting to talk football, and we're gonna start bringing this back to y'all every week or every other week, just depending on the news cycle whenever we do get out of the season. But man, well, any last words before we say goodnight to these beautiful people?
Please like, subscribe, follow us
Go check out our
on
videos. They're
yes,
good.
we have 2 videos out. Please go check them out. They're going to keep getting better and better.
Mhm.
Um, I promise you, we're going to need to keep getting better at this because eventually
Yeah.
we'll go. I mean, we're going to get some training on it eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
This is
mean,
in its infancy phase, but
yes, I can promise you this. Or we're just going to be self-taught and we're going to keep growing and learning from it. So
Mhm. Yeah.
we're going to get better at it. I promise. But they are still really good videos. Really fun. They kind of show
Super
you
interesting.
everything you need to know
Yeah.
about what you're going to experience if you go.
Yeah. Man, well, j- just like Will said, continue to like, subscribe, share, and watch. And we will see y'all next time. This is the Extra Points podcast with the College Football Experience. We are the College Football Experience, and we will see y'all at the next episode.
Deuces.